Let's see. Do this. Gotta find you the best angle there. It's still locked. I think that'll be a little bit better. Give people a few minutes to get in here as usual before we start going too crazy. I do have my pad over here. I thought I forgot it, but I didn't. Because we do have some important stuff to discuss during the course of this. I gotta try to remember to use my left hand. Flipped it around from the normal way that I go. So if you're in here, say hello. I see that someone is. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you're watching this, we want to keep that rhythm boosted. I'm sorry, I am on like no sleep this week, so I am very mush-mouthed and everything else. So, we're going to unveil the winner of last week's video, which is right here, made, printed, framed, ready to roll. So we'll unveil that in a little bit. What's up, Sean? Cheers from Ontario. Not working tonight? I think usually when we do these live streams, you're stuck working. Although you may just be on break. I'm not too sure. Brett, welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. So we will show off both the winning picture as well as we'll take the winning snake out briefly. Of course, that winning animal just happens to be in shed. Very, very early stages of shed though, so you probably won't even notice all that much, but I can tell just based on sheen and how that animal is looking. We will pull out a few other animals, some stuff that we have here. Let's grab something now while we're waiting for people to get in so you guys can check something out. So the first one we're going to grab here, very, very excited about. And so this guy here is one of the T-positive 007s, which you guys have seen quite a bit of. But this one in particular I'm excited about because he's going to be going to Mr. Rich Crowley. So if Mr. Crowley pops in at some point and checks out this video, this is his animal here. So obviously right now I can't really ship with the weather. So this guy's stuck here for a bit yet. But he's doing well, tracking me as always. It's always what they do. You know, but he's not bad at all. He's just still nervous. These guys, all three siblings actually are nervous, which is kind of funny because this clutch, the babies that were not Goldeneye, were super laid back, and all the ones that were Goldeneye are the ones that are a little bit more weary and nervous. So I don't know why that is. You know, maybe they get the personality more from dad because they have more genetics physically from him. I'm not really sure how that works, but it's just kind of funny to see the clutch really split like that. But this is going to be a really nice animal that's going to add to Rich's T-positive projects in the years to come. And I'm very excited to be sending a snake to somebody. I know Rich takes very good care of his animals. I've been to his house. You guys can check that trip out. I think it was episode 50, those of you that may have missed it. But yeah, so this guy's going to be headed out there when the weather warms up. Probably won't happen for another month or two, depending, because of where Rich is in Illinois and from here, Alabama. There you go. Like our weather patterns start there and come here. So if he gets a warm spell, we're cold here, and then by the time that warm spell gets here, he's cold again. So it's tough to ship that way until it really, really warms up on you know, both ends. So that's why we probably won't see a window for a little while. And in keeping with that theme, we'll see if this guy's willing to come out and play. Hi, bud. You look a little agitated, like always. This is the other male. This male is still available. So if somebody's looking for a really nice, high-quality animal that's going to add to their T-positive projects, or just a really stunning pet, or whatever it is that you're looking for, this guy is available. He's a smoke show. Once again, very weary, but not bad. He has struck at me once, I believe, on another live video, actually. But that's the only time he's struck. He'll probably strike at me now tonight since I said that. Got really nice pinks coming in on his head, which you really can't see right now because he keeps turning away from the camera. because he's a pain in the ass. Let's see if we can get him positioned here a little bit. Come on, show off. Sell yourself, man. But definitely a nice animal. These babies hatch very large. They're growing very quickly. Great feeders. These guys have no hesitation on frozen thawed mats. Jeez, I told you I'm mushmouth. Rats and mice without any issue. Where are you going? Where are you going? They're probably ready to get bumped up pretty soon. The only reason I'm keeping them a little bit smaller right now is just because of how weary they are. You know, try to get them real comfortable before their next bump up. But great animal. And right now, I haven't shown you guys here. Those of you that are on my Facebook might know I got some good news. My debt consolidation loan was able to roll over all my debt into one payment. So that's going to bump my credit score up. Back where it should be right now, it's around like 690. I'll put it back probably 758 once everything's squared away there. And so that also opens up about $300 a month for me. And what I was paying before to what I'll be paying now. So that gives me some room to go out and get a car, which I'm currently working on as we speak. So I'll try to put some money together for that. I'm going to try to pay as much as I can and cash out of pocket and roll as little onto credit as I can. So I would love to sell that animal and get that into what I'm looking at purchasing. We're not going to jinx that yet, so we'll talk about that later. But it's a car I really like, so hopefully it'll work out and get the money together. I have spotting service. That's bizarre. I don't know why. Let me go try something real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else on competing for Wi-Fi. You know, my house is small. Damn, 1 year. Can't wait for the weather to warm up. Hey, Brandon. Is the audio any better now? I don't know really what I can do, to be honest. I don't have, you know, the TV's not even on. Nothing's on in the house. So let me know if it's any better now or not. I'm actually closer to the Wi-Fi than normal, if anything. No other issues here at all. I mean, my Comcast voice sucks because Comcast sucks. That's never going to change, but we don't have any other option out here. We're lucky we have that, to be honest. But it's still bad. I don't understand why it's breaking up. I mean, there's literally no reason why it should be. I have nothing else open. I have nothing else on. Some are saying it's in and out. Some are saying better now. We're just going to push through because I don't have any other choice. So, not bad enough to not understand you, just annoying. Oh, well, my videos are annoying anyways. Make sure if you guys are here, you hit that like button. Don't forget. So, there's a lot less people in here than usual. So I don't know what's up with that. People must be busy tonight, whatever it is. But hopefully people will watch this video after. I'm going to try to keep this live stream to about an hour tonight, not go too long, maybe even less. That way more people will actually jump in and watch it afterwards, hopefully. But what we need to discuss is what's going on right now on the federal level. So a lot of times we're talking about legislation going on the state level or county or whatever it is. But right now there's a major issue on the federal front. And this one's big. So it's the America Competes Act under HR 4521. And as usual, it's a bill that's supposed to be addressing totally different things. But, you know, in the 2,000, 3,000 pages, whatever it is, they buried some stuff last minute once again. And once again, it's Lacey Act amendments. And this one is the biggest one yet that they've tried for. And this one is dire because this has already passed the House. And it is on to the Senate soon. So it passed in the House 222 to 210. So very close, very narrow margin. And that's why we need to get on these things and we need to send these emails and send these letters and make these phone calls and let these people know in the government that we do not want this, that we do not want this bill passed as long as this is a part of it. Because what this is going to do to the Lacey Act could potentially impact thousands of animals. This isn't a handful of species. This is basically going to be every single animal just about, other than your dog, your cat, and your typical farm livestock. So anything that's considered exotic, anything that they consider to have the potential to be invasive, and that doesn't have to be invasive on the whole country, it could be 1%. So even if something can only be invasive in the state of Florida, and Florida has already banned that species, they can still add it and now put it on a federal ban. Even though it can't live in Maine, it can't live in South Carolina, it can't live in Texas, it can't live in California, or Idaho, wherever you might be, maybe that one person ever that's actually from Wyoming. This is everywhere, so it is huge. And basically what it's going to do is allow them to list any animal that they want onto this Lacey Act as injurious. Anything that they believe has the potential to become invasive. And what they want to do, instead of going through like they did last time and saying, well, we're going to put African rocks, Burmese pythons, reticulated pythons, anacondas, they're going to make a list of what's not on there, and everything that's not listed will be considered injurious. So if you keep a species and they don't put that species on their list, which could be because they don't even know that species exists in captivity, you are now stuck and not allowed to transport that animal across state lines at all. It's not allowed to be imported or exported to and from the country. And this is a really big problem because maybe you've had your pet for 15 years and your family's relocating out of state, and all of a sudden, in order to relocate with your pet, you have to be a federal criminal. And breaking state laws is already not good, but breaking federal laws is really bad. Not something you want to do. So this one really needs us to focus and really needs us to be going on to the USARK page and following the instructions they give you to contact. And this is, because it's a federal thing, you need to contact your local senator. So every state has their two. You need to contact yours, and don't be afraid to reach out to other states around you. Do whatever you have to do. We need to get as much noise behind this as we can, because it's probably going to be a close vote in the Senate as well. And so if we can sway one or two of these people to our side, that's going to be huge. So make sure you're following USARK. There's a link in the description of this video, and it should be on all my videos, but sometimes for whatever reason, even though I have it automatically set to post every time, it doesn't always, because YouTube's a pain in the ass. One of the scariest things that's going to be on this legislation is that it's going to allow FWS to have emergency powers. And so if they deem there's a threat with a particular species, they don't have to go through the standard channels and go through and get it passed. They can use their emergency powers and just add it because they say so. And so that to me is the single most damaging and dangerous part of this, based on what I've read so far. Because basically that's one of those things where all of a sudden, say somebody lets out their tegu in Massachusetts and they find one outside, and FWS goes, oh, you know what? We can't risk that becoming invasive, and now they add that to the list, and that you can't have, or take it off the list you can, however they end up working it with that. And then nobody can have those animals anymore, or at least not be able to move them across state lines. You wouldn't be able to sell them. So if you're breeding those animals and that's your business and your livelihood, all you can do is sell within your state. So if you're in a little state like Rhode Island, for instance, or New Hampshire, that's going to limit your market significantly. It's already a limited market for these animals in the entire country, but now it's going to really be narrowed depending on where you live. So that's scary, and this could affect your cockatiels, your hedgehogs. Maybe you keep some kind of crazy snails. Maybe you keep a hamster, and all of these things could potentially be put on this list. They're going to tell you, well, no, that's not our intention. But once they have this passed, once that precedent is there, and once they have the emergency authority to add anything at any time, there's nothing stopping them. And you give up that kind of control to a government agency, and as we all know, that doesn't typically end well. I don't want to dwell on this too long, but it's super, super important. So make sure you're following USARK. Make sure you're paying attention to the action alerts. Make sure you're a member of USARK. $40 a year, you can get a membership. $5 a month, I think, if you go on the monthly plan. Definitely worth it. especially if you're keeping any kind of animals at this point, because even though, yes, they are the United States Association of Reptile Keepers, this stuff that they're fighting affects more than just reptiles. So if you're keeping small mammals, if you're keeping birds, exotic parrots, you know, for $40 a year to throw some money at this agency that's going to help fight so that you don't get screwed over, not a bad idea. So definitely pay attention to that. I wrote some of that stuff down so I wouldn't forget. We'll get to some more animals here in a second. Let's grab somebody out here. Hi, bud. What are you doing? You awake? I don't care if you guys are sick of seeing my boy here. You're going to see him all the time because I love this snake. And you see he's totally chill. Just reached right in there, grabbed him out. Looks amazing as always. You guys did not show him enough love on the vote. He's definitely an animal I would like to have hanging on my wall at some point. Probably like to get a really, really good picture of him to put up there. But I mean, that side pattern and all that meltiness and whatever, if I can get him in good natural light like I have in the past for good pictures, he just he makes all the difference. But he did not win in either the group shot or in his individual shot. Hey, our government is just a bunch of old hunts making laws against that they know nothing about. That's the scariest thing, is that the people that regulate these animals don't know anything about them. And so they have no knowledge of them. They're not doing research on such a small snippet in a much larger bill. So that's why we have to make this noise, because most of them aren't going to look past this and not think twice about it. They don't really care unless they are keeping these animals themselves. And I don't know of many politicians that are. All about the Bronx. Well, the Bronx didn't win anyway, so don't worry about it. This is what happens when Renaissance country. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get overly into politics on this, but obviously, since things switched over, we've seen a very, very large amount last year and this year with the legislation coming through. I know people like to argue and say it doesn't come from one side or the other, which is true to an extent, but we are seeing a much larger volume now that the Democrats have a larger stake in there. And so that's indisputable. It's in black and white. It's coming through much heavier right now. Even if it is Republicans that are introducing it, they're introducing it at a time where they know that the Democrats have the majority and will likely pass it through. So it's definitely a big problem. Something we need to fix. Oops. I guess. I don't know, maybe. Not too much, Patrick. Welcome. Working out in ball pythons. There you go. Are you doing ball python curls? That's why I'm so jacked, because these are short tails. They're a little bit heavier, you know. Let me see what else I missed here. It's bullshit. We're the greatest and most free. We're definitely not the most free country. I mean, we might have some of the largest illusion of freedom, but we're definitely not the most free. Although it's scary around the world right now. Australia used to be a pretty laid-back, free country, and that one has gone downhill very, very quickly, and it's very scary what's going on there. More and more into Australia, yeah. Yeah, and even the natives are very restricted. Some places you're not even really allowed to keep those. All right. Thank you to everybody here. Don't forget to hit that like button. I hope you did, Justin. That was an amazing pick. Yeah, we'll see that shortly. We'll unveil that there. And I'm thinking, too, something that I could do as like a giveaway thing when people do super chats and stuff like that. You know, I'll show you this particular poster print shortly. But that's something that I could do if people have like a local Walgreens photo center or Walmart or whatever that develops these things in different sizes. You know, we could do something where, you know, every so much dollars in super chat goes in to enter you, and we'll do either like a drawing at the end or figure out a way to pick a winner. And then I can always have a poster made at your local place to pick up if you want, like a picture of one of the snakes that I have, something like that. You know, so that's something we could do as well as just like the merchandise thing, and something a little bit more personable and cool. You know, if you have a favorite snake of mine and I have a good picture or something, you know. So that's something that I was thinking about today, maybe going forward, that we could do. You know, the super chats aren't flying today, so probably not going to happen today. But just something I was thinking of. Yeah, the boutique's another one that'll look good on the wall eventually. I mean, eventually I might get some smaller prints made so I can put more pictures in, or maybe what I'll do is I have like a layout app and I can use a layout and get 2 or 3 or 4 pictures in a shot and make a bigger shot of that. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? He's just so cool. Love this snake. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Definitely my favorite Borneo I've ever produced, just for a million reasons, but his personality is fantastic. I don't even have to pay attention. I don't have to worry about what he's doing. It's coming up in my face. Nothing about that's going to be bad with him. He's just totally chill. But yeah, so I mean, all those pictures I picked are ones that I like. Obviously, I'm not going to throw a picture in there I don't want to have to look at on my wall every day. But yeah, I'm happy with the one that won. And of course, they said, "Oh, the quality is poor. This is going to come out poorly." I think it looks fine. But it was a picture that I took some time ago and with an older phone, so it's not as updated as this one is. But let me put him back here. There you go, buddy. My foot down there. I named this bin. He's endlessly patient considering how annoying that bin is for him, the way it slides in and out. I think she's in shed. Let's take this girl out. You guys haven't seen this girl in a little bit. Just happened to have her down here because I had to get to something else earlier. See what kind of mood she's in. Hi, bitchy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ha ha ha. Are we in a mood? Are we going to be our mother's daughter today? Oh, yes we are. Yes we are. Come on. Talk to him. Ms. Astra here. Looking gorgeous as always. Getting robbed of her color. She looks very dull instead of very bright yellow. But just a great snake, and obviously those oranges and blacks up there, the flaming, are not really showing as nicely as they could. I actually tried to use her last week for the thumbnail for that video with the soaking snakes, but she didn't want to sit still, and she ended up breaking a candle and smashing it all over my tub, getting wax and glass everywhere. Thankfully, she wasn't in there, so it didn't hit her or anything. But it turned out she had to poop, and so I think that's why she wasn't wanting to sit still, because she ended up pooping later that night. And when they have to poop, sometimes they're just less cooperative. I imagine, given that they don't poop all that often, it probably is a little bit of an uncomfortable process as they're going through it. But just a very pretty Borneo shorttail. I'd love to get a day where her and her sister are both fired up reasonably well this summer, and get a nice picture of the two of them together. I think that could be a really nice picture if they're both showing off nice and yellow and I can get the right lighting. But getting them both to be fired up on the same day at the same time when the lighting's good and all that is difficult. But just a real beautiful girl that hopefully will be ready next year. She just needs a little bit more size. You know, she's a little too small to pair this year. Her sister's a bit bigger than her. But she's working on it. She's doing her part, eating good, as always. I'm doing my part, making sure she's eating good. And she's slated to go next year, hopefully. Not sure what male I'm going to do to her yet. I've gone back and forth a million times with her, trying to decide what would be the perfect snake. And so who knows? I'll either pick out a few options and we'll do another video where you guys can pick when the time comes, or I will pull something out of my ass, or Rob Ballantyne will stop dicking around and work with me and get that male here, because I think that would be the best pairing. Oh, what am I doing? I need her to stay down because I need to get underneath her in a bit. I'm just not thinking. Get a little water, excuse me. I forgot the whole reason I had her down is I need to get in the bin underneath of her. Not thinking very well. Now I got all this hand sanitizer. It's probably not going to let me hit the thing. Oh no, we're good. We're good. Thank you, Jack. I didn't know she was looking to rehome hers. Or maybe I did. Maybe I did actually know that. I don't know. No, I feel like it was Maria I knew that was. Right now I just have the one the one male available here, but I am hoping somebody will grab him soon because he's an incredible animal. And like, would I be upset if he stayed? No, but I really don't need two males of the same thing. And obviously his father's an older animal, so I'm not looking to offload him and send him off. A younger animal's a lot easier to adjust to a new environment. Not that his father's old. He's going to be 4 this summer, but still. And yeah, Astra is beautiful. You do have to admit that. Alrighty. So let's take a look at this print. I have a feeling it's going to get a lot of glare in here. I may have to, let me see. I'm going to shut this light off for a minute, and I think that'll, I might make it harder to see the picture. I don't know. Let's see how it looks. So I'm still getting glare no matter what. Let me see if I turn it back on. It's tough. My lighting in my house sucks because there's no overhead lighting, which would really help. So I think you're going to get glare no matter what here. But you can see to some extent, I would think, that the picture came out. I'll try to get a picture of it once it's hung up and put it in the community section so you guys can see. Although my living room is hard to get pictures in because of the way the windows are. I don't have curtains in my house because I live in the woods. If you want to stand in the woods and watch me, have at it. I don't care. You want to watch me sleep or whatever, have at it. See, no matter where I go, there's going to be glare. But a nice 24 by 36 of Miss Voodoo Queen. So she will be on the wall at some point soon. Actually, I can turn this around now. Just let it be in the background there. I think it came out fine. Like I said, they told me it was going to be grainy. I think it looks good. You know, I mean, it's not the nicest quality photo. Have I had any more locks? Yeah, I know. I hear you. I'm broke too. Do I have anything paired up right now? Lilith is not paired. These guys might still be paired. Can't see. You can't even see where her tail is. No, they're not locked. I still haven't seen a lock between those two. And then, who else do I have paired up right now? Electra's not paired. I think the only other snake that's got a male in with might be this girl here. Yeah, and Morticia and Midnight Rider are together right now, but they're not locked at the moment. The season's starting to wind down. There's only another maybe 2 weeks or so that I'll be pairing. After that, we just let it roll and see what happens. Dina, did you get your shirt yet? Did it arrive in the mail? I have not looked at the tracking information on that. I know the stickers made it, but I don't know about that. How much for that size? I actually found a coupon for like a huge percentage off. So it only cost me like 13 bucks to get that printed, and then the frame was more. But yeah, the poster print itself only cost me like 13 bucks. Usually they're about $30 to get done. No, not yet. They're always slow as shipping. Every time I order stuff from them. So hopefully it'll come in this week. I'll have to check the tracking and make sure that doesn't show delivered and they screwed it up. I've had a problem at my house with deliveries a lot lately. They pretty much screw up everything out here. How's the sound doing? Is the sound still screwed up or is it any better? Hopefully it's a little bit better. Let's grab Voodoo Queen out in the meantime. You guys can see her. She's a little on edge because she is starting a shed cycle. So I had to clean her earlier. That's why I know. Really don't like these new Christmas tree tubs as much as I like the iris ones. But I can't find the iris ones, so beggars cannot be choosers. Hi, Krabby. What are you doing? We won't have you out long. I know. You're shedding. You're shedding. So she's going to look real dull right now because she is in a shed cycle. Hello. So you can see more of her pattern right now because she's fading into blue. So when they go into shed, they get really intense blue on their sides. You can kind of see how it's like a smoky gray now, but it'll get really, really blue. Chris Who. And then there's I know a few Chris's that make racks. But yeah, you can see more of her pattern right now, more of that smoky color, where she's going into shed, the darker belly, everything like that. So she's not looking her best right now, but she's still doing good. Randomly will break up, but not bad. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's a cold night. It's like 12 degrees right now, maybe 15 at most, but it's not, oh, sea serpents, nice. It's not windy, it's not rainy, it's not snowing, it's not doing anything. We had a little bit of snow last night, and then we had that big storm like the week before where we got 19 inches. But that's about it. I mean, I haven't even really had power flicker or anything here. So nothing going on like that. But I'm going to put her back since she's in shed. Just wanted to show her off since she did win. There you go, girl. There you go. Excuse me for a minute while I do this. Put this other bin back up too, so I have some room to move in here. All right. Yeah, these are taller too, so half the time when I go to put them back, I forget how much taller they are. And like my muscle memory is used to stacking the other ones, and so I'm constantly bumping them, and it's not working really well. So just something I have to get used to. And another thing that I'm doing this year that I've been terrible about in the past is I am actually tracking every dollar I spend this year that I can track. I have a calendar I'm writing it all down on: water dishes, paper towels, cleaning supplies, feeders, new tubs, enclosures, whatever. Starting from January 1st, go through the end of the year. Hopefully I keep on it. There's certain things that are hard to quantify, like how much electricity is them versus me, you know, things like that. Or, you know, if you wanted to get technical, I'm paying rent for the whole house and they're using a large portion of it. Does that go on to roll into the cost? You know, how do you calculate all that and whatever? But I at least want to know the other stuff that I'm, you know, expending on and sales and see how it goes. For like 10 seconds at a time. Yeah, I think the picture came out good. I really do. I like it. Just got to figure out where I'm going to hang it on the wall. So I'll do that soon. I might take another one down, rotate it out. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me see. Seems to be less glare back there, so maybe. There, maybe you guys can see it a little bit. Nah, it's still got glare. Doesn't matter what I do. Too much glare in here. So what other questions you guys got? Guys got anything else that you want to talk about? Video ideas coming up. You know, hopefully there'll be some natural video ideas that come along. Obviously, if I get a car, that's going to help me immensely be able to travel and start doing some more stuff. You know, with me having transportation. You know, right now it's my work truck, and that doesn't really help. It's insanely expensive to drive, and it's not mine, so I'm not trying to drive it all over God's green earth. And then also, hopefully, we'll start getting some ovulations and some eggs and some babies and things as time goes on, and that'll just naturally work itself into videos. Don't forget to hit that like button, please. And don't forget to, afterwards, if you go back and watch this video, any portion you missed, or throw it on again and leave a comment on the video once it's posted and done live, because all these live comments won't show up on that. But those comments afterwards are what help bump the algorithm and keep this thing moving along. Uh-oh, a McLots video. Yeah, you just want to see me get bit. Get you a car, priority level. I'm working on it. The Matrix seems to really enjoy being able to stretch out more since I moved him. He's adjusted very well so far. Yeah, so you know, snakes can go several ways with that. Some get less confident, some get more confident. Um, so it's nice to see when they do like the space and they enjoy it. And I have a lot that are like that. You can write it all off in your taxes. You calculate square footages. Yeah, you could if I had a business. And the problem is I don't have a business. And in this state, it's nearly impossible to do unless I have an actual storefront. When it comes to like home-based business, they tell you that you need all these permits that don't exist. And they send you into this fuckery circle where just nobody can give you a straight answer and you can never get it done. So that's a big reason why I want to move, because I want to be able to get all those write-offs, because it would be significant. You know, and it would really help a lot to not only track expenses, but separate expenses, get separate bank accounts, do all that. It would be nice to be able to do that and really track stuff easier. But the state just makes it so damn impossible. Head out, going to see the new Spider-Man, one of the last things we've been doing for a while. Yeah, that due date's coming. You're very late, Mike, but you can always go back and watch, so do not fear. And just make sure, Mike, if you're here, that you hit that like button. If you don't, I'll know. So yeah, McLeod's video I'll do eventually. I was kind of hoping to wait until summer when it's nice outside, because he's a nice iridescent snake. Get him out there. Yeah, PA is a lot easier. Basically, every state I know of is a lot easier than here. Here it's just a lot of people that don't know what to do, and the taxes here are outrageous. They really hammer small business hard here, make it almost impossible for them to survive. But Connecticut sucks in general. It's really, really not a good place to live, with the exception of the area. The taxes are terrible. The cost of living is high. The money you make is not great. Like, it's just a bad combination of a lot of factors. So unless you know a lot of people and are very lucky and get a lot of good opportunities and handshake deals, it's very hard to do well here. All right, what else you guys got? I think we can actually keep this video under 45 minutes unless you guys get crazy all of a sudden. But I wanted to show off that winter. I wanted to show off a few animals while we were here. Just let you guys know. I think this one is in shed. Yeah, you're in shed. Always shedding. Always, always, always shedding. Makes me crazy. Wanted to show you guys the marble female, but she looks like crap because she's in shed. Same in the U.S. used to be all about the little man getting their leg up in the world. Yeah, now it's not that way at all, unfortunately. Quite the opposite. It's about those at the top amassing more and more. And I'm not one of those people that's like, eat the rich and all this stupid stuff that I can't stand, because it's just nonsense. But it is definitely difficult to scratch and claw your way. It used to be very easy to work very hard, scratch out a good living, scratch out a good retirement, live a good life, and it's just become more and more difficult to do that, unless, like I said, you have opportunities that are handed to you, or you get lucky, or you happen to have a really good skill that's marketable. Like you're a really good carpenter, a really good mechanic, or something like that, where you can make good money. But that's not me. I have no skills. You do not want me around tools. It's a very dangerous situation. All right, people. I wanted to get something up for this weekend. I've got to work on something for next week, so make sure you shoot some ideas. If you think of something throughout the course of this week, stop back on this video, throw it in the comments. Like I said, don't forget, if you can, to jump back on here after we're done and just leave a comment on the video once it's up. It'll really help drive the traffic here. I'm trying to be better about building things along and keeping the momentum going. Me, who's returning to college for computership because I'm tired of making $10 an hour with my old degree. Yeah, it's insane. My former roommate had a degree and was very educated in his field and was literally working part-time for that here, or close to it. I think he might have made 12. And it's nuts. Like, you amass all this college debt to make $12 an hour. when you can go to a gas station and make $12 an hour. Like it makes no sense. And it makes no sense that the system keeps pushing these kids to go to college, and there's nothing wrong with going to college, but like the trades are suffering. There's no new people coming into a lot of these trades. They should be pushing kids that direction. If you're mechanically inclined at all or don't mind working hard, you can make just as much money, if not more, especially if you get to a level where you own your own business and you build a solid business. They're sending these kids out there with degrees in fields where they're going to top out at 60, 70,000. You can make that in your first 5 or 6 years in some of these trades very easily. So it blows my mind that they don't push more kids that direction if they have that ability, because one, we need it as a society, and two, they come out of school with no debt. It's money in their pocket right away. By 4 or 5 years, you've got a down payment ready. You can get a house and start, putting your money towards something instead of throwing it away. And then in a few years, buy some real estate or something, invest in a rental property, or make some investments and start building wealth other ways with passive income. So it'd be nice to see that shift happen, but it doesn't seem to be prioritized for whatever reason. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that. But I remember looking at like master plumbers, and the average age, like in one of the states, was like 54. Like that's not good. I prefer my son to go to trade school instead of college. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the kid, and it depends on their skill set, and what they want to do with their life and whatever. But I just feel like schools in general do not, most guidance counselors don't give them enough information about all their options. They just push them towards, well, you're supposed to go to college now when you're done with high school. And realistically, I understand that because our system is set up that way. College is to prepare you for a specific job. High school is to prepare you for college. Middle school is to prepare you for high school. Elementary school prepares you for middle school. So that is the progression that they're going for. And so the school, by design, is trying to funnel you and keep you in the school avenue as opposed to that. And there are some guidance counselors out there and some institutions that do offer more open information about that stuff. But like I know when I was in high school, nobody ever talked to me about any trade schools at all, nothing. It was all college, 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 and that was it. And like, you have to be doing this and doing that, and you need to do this activity for college and this. It's like, well, cool, you go to trade school, they don't care if you were in fucking cheerleading and fucking spirit squad and student government, doesn't matter. So like, you're pushing these kids to do all these activities to push them into something where ultimately it might not be their strong suit or what they even want to do. And I can't tell you how many kids I know that went to college and then went back into the trades and make more money in the trades than they would have ever made with their degree. And one of the biggest regrets is getting that degree because it serves them no purpose. I think that's another thing guidance counselors could do a better job with, is stop pushing kids into degrees that have no practical application in the job world, or there's so many people with those degrees that it's difficult to get jobs. There's a lot of college degrees out there in fields that are needed. Start pushing people towards those. Help them see that this is a viable future for them. Now, we discussed this if you had been here on time. The only two males that are in with females right now are Midnight Rider with Morticia and the T-positive 007 with the big girl. And it's more just that I haven't unpaired them yet. Right now, Orion, Atlas, the Batik are all in their individual places. Lilith, I believe, I don't remember if she was in Shed, not in Shed. I don't think she is. I don't know. I'm a little out of my loop right now. I'm interested in the majority of princesses. We get horrible. Oh, I'm certain a lot of people don't make it in the trades either that try. But that's also because you're literally, when you're walking into these trades, they've never had any experience with anything to do with it. You're completely fresh. You're not even used to the idea of what you need to be doing. Some schools I know around here, a few, offered stuff where kids could go to, like, basically a trade high school, like a technical school, and part of their education is still their standard stuff, but then for part of it, they get to go try some different trades out and see what they might be good at get a little experience in an auto shop, or a little experience with electrical, or a little experience with plumbing, carpentry, whatever it is. Get a little taste of everything, see where maybe they find a passion, or maybe they just find something that maybe they don't even like, but they're really good at naturally, or pick up the information well. So I think schools could benefit from just doing little pockets of that and having that as a regular part of their curriculum, or at least optional for the kids that want to explore. You got to give that boutique a name. I have a lot of snakes that need names. I was going to apprentice under my father and get my union book, but went to vet med instead. Big mistake. Union trade's always a good opportunity. Yeah, I am not a fan of unions. Most people that are on my social media know that I don't like them. I've had very bad experience with union workers being extremely lazy and unmotivated. And I also don't like the fact that you get seniority over time in, as opposed to your work ethic and how quickly you pick up the job. Stuff like that's always bothered me. It gives me like a very communist vibe, where it's like what you do doesn't really matter. And I also don't like the fact that like people who suck get a raise. That bothers me. And people will tell you that shouldn't bother you, but there's only so much pie to go around, and every piece somebody else gets is a piece you can't get. And so I don't mind people getting a piece of the pie they deserve, but I do not like seeing people get a piece of the pie they do not deserve. That upsets me. And so I am not built for working in a union environment. I can't tell you how many people, my ex-friends, different people that worked in union environments where, you know, the other employees wouldn't speak to them because they worked too hard and made them look bad and shit like that. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Why don't you work hard? Like, that's why you're there. That's why you're at work. That's why you're getting paid, is to work hard, not fucking dick off. You know, I work my ass off, and that's just the way it is, and I don't mind that. It's never going to bother me. I would like to get compensated better for how much I work, but that will be coming soon, because once I get a car, that is my plan, to discuss what I'm making. Right now, I'm not in a position to tell them, like, get with the program or I'm out, because then I'm out and I have no vehicle, and that's a bad idea. So once I get a car, that's my biggest bargaining chip for more money. And so we will negotiate that when the time comes. And I have no problem negotiating. I've always been very open and forward with people with that. And I am also not one of those people that just says, hey, pay me more. I'll say, what do you need from me for me to make more money? And I have no problem doing it. So it's just a matter of the two sides finding some common ground and everybody being happy. So we will get that figured out. One more time, I'm going to remind you to hit that like button. I'm going to get out of here, and hopefully this quality of audio shit doesn't happen again. Let me know after the video's over. Pop back on, get in the comments. Let me know what you think about going forward, of doing something where Super Chats can enter you to win, and I can have a poster for you in your area that you can pick up at your local, you know, Walgreens, Walmart, whatever it is that does photo poster prints. So that's an option to look into. So let me know. And we'll catch you guys hopefully next week. We'll see you. Enjoy my thumb.